You're awake. Finally. For a moment there, I was honestly getting worried you were a lost cause. Oh, don't give me that look. If you knew how many of you I've seen, you'd... well, never mind that. Your eyes are still adjusting, so I would advise that you don't turn to look out of the window just yet. I can see that you're struggling to speak. That's relatively normal. I'm sure you've had plenty of dreams in which you did plenty of talking, but believe me, the only exercise your vocal cords have gotten all this time is the mumbling you've been doing in your sleep every so often. Try to give a few basic responses to the questions I ask, and you should find that your ability to speak starts to come back gradually. Not mine. Your ability to speak starts to come back gradually. Now, if I poke your shoulder, can you feel this? And which shoulder did I poke? Excellent. And the other shoulder? Great. I don't doubt that you have a lot of questions, and I promise to answer them as best as I possibly can. Right now, all you need to know is that I saved you, and that you've been asleep for a very, very long time. What? I mean, I can see you trying to mouth something, but as I've said, your vocal cords are... Oh, of course, yes. How long? Well, I guess all the time? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be facetious. There's no simple answer to that question. How about we do a few more tests and I'll try to explain things, okay? Very well. Feel free to try and move around a little. I couldn't really do much about your vocal cords, but I've been able to keep your muscles from withering away. You might struggle to find your balance for some time, so I would suggest some basic movements before you even think about getting up. Now, if you'd allow me to scan your retinas... Whoa, hey, what's wrong? You don't feel feverish. What's going... the window. Shh, it's okay. Please, just try to breathe. You're okay. Give me your hands. There you go. You can crush mine if that's what it takes, but I just need you to breathe, okay? Just lay back slowly, okay? There you go. You're okay. One last test, and I will explain as I go, okay? I need one hand back, but you can hold on to the other as long as you need to. Close your eyes, and I will tell you when to open them, okay? Great. So, to try and explain our situation. I don't suppose you're familiar with the concept of a super task, are you? I think it might be the only way any of this might make even a little sense. Well, to put it simply, imagine you have to run a race. You have to get from point A to point B, but with one limitation. Every step you take in this race has to be half the length of the previous step. Right eye open, please. Excellent. So you see, in this hypothetical race, you'd never actually be able to reach the end. Even if there are only a few steps between the start and the end of the race, the end becomes unreachable because you have to take smaller steps each time. It is a race with a logical and visible end, and yet you could participate for eternity and never finish. Now your left eye? Perfect. No damage to the optic nerve. A super task is impossible, of course, This concept has no real bearing on our world, or at least it didn't. Until you and the others, well, you died. Sort of. You have been dying for ever? There are maybe a few thousand of you, and some made it. Others didn't. It's like you all fell asleep one day, and then your vitals just kept dropping and dropping, but they never quite hit zero. I don't know why not everyone made it. To this day, it remains a personal failure of mine. Anyway, at some point, we figured out how to induce this state. It became an obsession. It was like immortality contained within a nap. and the best part is that if someone was put into this state artificially, they could also be revived from it. No issues, no side effects. The world went insane. As for those of you who went under originally, you were basically forgotten. Mild curiosities in a world that very quickly found better things to think about. I never gave up, though. I refused to. While the world started falling apart, I gathered all of you that I could find. I devoted my life to figuring out what happened to you and trying to bring you back. Every last one of you. Eventually, we moved off Earth. Everyone did. I would keep putting myself into this state and bringing myself back. I had the lab automated to wake me if so much as a speck of dust moved through the air. It turned out, ultimately, that all you needed was time. A lot of time. The first of you woke up long after our galaxy collided with Andromeda. That's the view you saw outside the window, by the way. And the last of you, well, that's you. You're the only one left. All this time, and I'm no richer in answers other than the fact that time was the answer. I'm sorry, I noticed you haven't let go of my hand at all. Is everything okay? Are you feeling any stiffness in your arm? It might be a symptom of... You think I needed it as much as you did? Well, you're awfully kind for someone who slept through every end of the world imaginable. The others? Well, the person before you woke up some 15,000 years ago. They took the news remarkably well, about as well as you. It took some time for them to acclimate, and then they took a ship and left. Whether they found anything or anyone is not for me to know. I've seen the whole spectrum of reactions, really. Denial, anger, insanity. It's a lot to take in. Not everyone handles it well. I've tried to help everyone. It's all I've ever done. I only wish I could say I've always succeeded. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that some people have a delayed response to everything they've learned. It might take some time to truly understand what has happened and just how long it has been. All I ask is that if you feel overwhelmed or anxious, then let me know, and I promise I will take care of you. You're not alone with any of this. Sit with you? Of course. Oh, you can ask me anything you want. It's the least I can do. Are we the only ones left? I don't think so. It has been a very long time, but, well, you, others like you, you're the most resilient group of people I've known. If anyone had a chance to build back after everything that happened, it would be those of you that woke up. I was too focused on making sure you all survive to go out there and explore myself. It was low on my list of priorities, though I suppose now I guess. Would you like to go find out? We've got all the time in the world, after all.